Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Unfortunately, we've got to talk about cheating in Call of Duty yet again, and it's not in a good light. There's not really any good news in regards to the latest major issue going on with cheating, particularly in Black Ops 6 and Warzone. We got a new update in BO6 and Warzone the other day featuring multiplayer ranked play, and there was already a lot of concerns going into the ranked season this year about the cheating issue, particularly with the change that Treyarch and Call of Duty were making that actually is going to basically promote more cheating in the mode and in the game in general. And as expected, it's kind of a disaster. So got a couple of clips I want to showcase here as we talk about this insane issue that's been going on. Not only is it happening just right now, like it's not like this is a brand new thing. This cheating problem has been ongoing for years and years and years. We've seen Ricochet implemented, we've seen updates to it, and yet this issue is still just as rough, just as massive as it's been for, the past several years. So Charlie Intel ends up using this clip from Lunchtime. Shout out Lunchtime, he's the GOAT. Hackers are already ruining Black Ops 6 ranked play. Surprise, surprise. Like, I genuinely wish I could say that and be surprised and be shocked, but I think pretty much everyone saw this coming. There's no kill cams, which is crazy, and crossplay must stay on so everyone's forced to experience hackers. So the first issue here, as mentioned in that caption, there is no kill cams in ranks. Now, I imagine that this is probably going to be updated. It might even be updated by the time that I end up posting this video. Not sure what day this is going to go up. But that said, to launch a ranked mode where integrity is of the utmost importance, depending on who you're playing, because these matches actually have meaning behind them, whereas public matches, even though it feels like ranked play with skill-based matchmaking, at the end of the day, it's just a public match. It doesn't actually matter, right? Ranked, you're playing it for a reason. Your wins are important. Your losses are important. So not having kill cams, kind of a massive oversight. And you can see the only way to actually confirm whether or not something weird is going on is in a play of the game, like in this clip here from Lunchtime, where they're going to go through, they're going to see this play of the game. And this guy, their first guy that they're spectating, crazy tracking, has some just incredible game sense. Maybe it's Spider-Man. There's another best play here where the player is actually basically just locking on center mass. And what's interesting is, like, this isn't blatant rage hacking like what we're about to see in a minute. Spoiler alert, a little foreshadowing here. This is just like a center mass aimbot that you can tell is absolutely not natural just because of the way that he's going through and getting kills. Seems very suspicious in general. And you can see, even though the kill cams are not fully accurate, there's clearly something weird going on. So they're like, okay, something strange is happening. What if we just start hiding in random corners? What's the reason that someone would be pre-aiming any of these unless they were going through and cheating? And so it's pretty obvious that, yes, these couple of guys showcased just in this one clip are cheating, but this is far from the only example. But obviously, this is incredibly disappointing. Like I said, not surprising, but still equally as disappointing, because they were talking about anti-cheat updates a lot with Black Ops 6. How during the beta, they had several anti-cheat updates that went out. They were testing new things during the beta. They were actually able to stop a bunch of cheaters before they were able to get into the games. And what's crazy with this is that in order to play ranked play, you have to go through and win a bunch of public matches, like 50 public matches, before you can play ranked. So that means accounts like this, either they just weren't cheating when they were initially going through and getting 50 wins, which is just an insane commitment to trying to cheat, knowing you're probably going to eventually get banned regardless. But you have to go through, play 50 games, potentially cheating or not. The system doesn't detect that you have cheats on your system. Ricochet doesn't pick that up. And then they make their way into ranked play, and they can ruin the experiences here, which is just absolutely crazy. But this isn't even as wild as it gets. There's another clip that I saw going around on my timeline from Drafty showing a theater mode replay. So this is actually going to be a really interesting thing with theater mode this year. We basically have to confirm ourselves because Ricochet is so lackluster in doing so. But you can go through and watch a match back, and you're like, hey, man, that guy on the other team, he was really weird, but we don't have kill cams, or like the best play wasn't necessarily always him, but it just seemed like he was doing something weird. You can go into theater mode, you can sort of spectate them, and again, while theater mode is not going to show a one-to-one exactly what was happening, it's going to give you a rough estimate and a rough replay of what was going on from that person's POV, and can give you some decent insight into whether or not you thought they maybe were wall hacking or something. Or there's cases like this where I quite frankly don't understand how this player was able to get any kills without being detected by Ricochet, because as you can see, yeah, well, this guy's just straight up like spin bot aimbotting. he clearly was getting absolutely trashed, so he just decided to start cheating. And you can see there is absolutely nothing natural about this. Now, I have full confidence this person is going to get, banned for cheating because it's just so blatantly obvious. But again, the fact that someone has cheats like this installed on their system, was able to go through, play 50 matches of normal multiplayer. Maybe they weren't cheating. Maybe they installed the stuff afterwards, but then they get into ranked play after playing and winning those 50 matches, and they're doing stuff like this. Basically ruins the entire mode because you can't compete against this. You can't challenge this. You're gonna get spin botted, aim botted on the second you peek a corner. You can't win the gunfight here. As you just saw there, that player gets absolutely fried. Like, this is utterly insane that this is still this big of an issue. And instead of trying to help make this maybe less of a problem in Black Ops 6 multiplayer, at least, the devs basically went in reverse and made it so that it's even more likely that you're going to go through and run into this situation. It's just such an insanely bad look, in my opinion, when a week ago we had this anti-cheat progress report specifically talking about ranked play, and then day one of ranked dropping, what happens? We get clips like those that just show the most blatant cheaters in the game absolutely ruining ranked. By the way, as we're going through all this, if you do want to shine more light on this problem, maybe get an actual response from Call of Duty for once, a true, like, actual upgrade and update and a commitment to stopping situations like this, dropping a like on the video does help share it around and get more attention on the subject. And if you're new here, you want to guarantee every day you're up to date with all things going on in COD. Like, if we ever do get significant anti-cheat updates, anything else going on in game between news, meta breakdowns, all that stuff is here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications. But what's crazy with this is that Call of Duty, like I said, a week ago was talking about all this stuff, talking about the Black Ops 6 launch detections. A new behavioral model analyzed anomalous skills recorded and categorized over 4.4 million data points. This information feeds into a system that then determines if gameplay is authentic or not. And there's just no reality where that last clip we saw where the person is spin botting, that's even close to authentic gameplay. The system should almost immediately pick up on something like that. Another crazy one here. Since the launch of Black Ops 6, Ricochet Systems have intervened on over 582,000 matches, over 500,000 matches, to remove suspicious accounts. So basically over 500,000 suspicious accounts have already been taken out of the game via Ricochet, and yet day one of ranked play dropping, there's already significant cheating issues. And instead of maybe helping out the mode a little bit in terms of, limiting how much you could run into cheaters or giving you more information on cheaters, they go backwards. So as mentioned, kill cams not being in the mode is absolutely insane, in my opinion. Plus, as Charlie Intel alluded to in their post there, crossplay is forced across the board. Previously in ranked, on PlayStation at least, you could go through, you could turn off crossplay. So if you were trying to grind out ranked and actually have a legitimate, experience, you would only be playing other players on PlayStation in ranked play. That's what a lot of the, top pros and top players from ranked last year and years prior ended up doing. But this year, they forced you to have crossplay on, meaning if you're on PlayStation, you still have to go up against PC players who are far more likely to have cheats, crazy ones like what we just saw installed. If you're on Xbox, really there is no way to truly turn off crossplay outside of doing it in your console settings itself, which then can cause issues for just general matchmaking. And of course on PC, you're already on the platform where most of the cheaters end up stemming from to begin with. So there's no real way to actually combat that whatsoever. Why they chose to make that decision where there's actually no way to navigate around cheaters through crossplay or not, and then also double down with no kill cams at launch, just seems so strange. But then, as I was talking about in some of those clips, they made a whole, hey, look at our ranked play security, it's going to be more secure than ever, right? We're cutting down on VPN abuse, we're cutting down on boosting. Players need to win 50 match-made multiplayer matches before they can jump in and actually play ranked in the first place. This way, all those accounts have a history, and clearly that history doesn't matter because there's cheaters like that on their first couple of games are just blatantly cheating after playing a ton of multiplayer games to get those 50 wins. They also use the replay investigation tool, like kind of what we have with theater mode. It's got to be more reliable, more quick to act. Like, it's crazy that this is as big of an issue as it is, and we're only a couple of days into the ranked season. This is also, keep in mind, on the paid version of the game. These cheaters are like an additional tier of loser. They're spending money on cheats to begin with, which is just the worst look. You're so weird. And then they're paying money to play Black Ops 6. They're buying Black Ops 6 and playing the paid premium experience, knowing they're probably going to eventually get banned. That's $60, $70, $80, $90 you're just throwing away, right? Just because you're a loser, I guess. guess. This isn't even talking about Warzone, where cheaters are even more prominent because it's free to play. So they just have to make new accounts and can do all the same stuff we just saw there, just on a larger scale, since the player base obviously much bigger there on Warzone. So like, it's just not a good look whatsoever. Ricochet team will also turn on systems that were initially deployed at launch to only collect data and test the effectiveness of the detections, as mentioned with the launch recap. So this is with new anti-cheat updates being enforced. This is with specific things in place to ideally stop cheaters from flooding ranked play, and just it doesn't seem to have worked whatsoever. So pretty unfortunate situation here, to say the least. Hopefully this sparks some kind of response, even more significant updates to the anti-cheat. I can't say I have much faith that it will, because as I mentioned, this is far from the first time this cheating issue has been highlighted just on this channel, but in general, like, this has been an ongoing problem for years and years and years. So definitely sucks, but I did want to highlight this because it's wild. That said, that's going to wrap things up for this video. If you enjoyed it, a like would be seriously appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, you want to join us on the road to 1 million, every single day we are getting closer and closer. So feel free to hit that subscribe button to guarantee you're always up to date with everything going on in the world of Call of Duty. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.